So welcome back, everybody. This is the Airthings Masters, the first event of the Meltwater Chess Champions Tour. We've had 2 rounds so far. This is the rapid one of the rapid portions. The time controls are 15 minutes plus 10 seconds of increment. It looks like we've already got some action in the third round. We've been following Hans. He had a tough fight in the first round, but a loss to Eric Hansen. And then he had a very, looks like, comfortable, well played draw against Ding Liren in the second round.
Hans has started. He played d4 against Duda, so no more c4. d4 knight c3, the Verisov. Wow, c5. Not the most common move. Usually you see like knight f6 here from black, but e4 takes d5. So Hans
He's living up to.
Yeah.
He's delivering what he said. He's going to do some fun stuff.
That's right. No, guys, Hans can read chat, so be very careful with what you're saying. No, I'm just kidding. He focusing on his games. Honestly, very interesting opening. So he kind of sacked this pawn, but his compensation is that black pawns, of course, are going to be weak in the long run. And now he goes for knight a4, playing for this weakness. Duda says, go ahead, bishop d7, knight b6, rook a7. So he's willing to play with this rook on a7 for a while. Presumably because he's going to plan on trading off white's knight. But it seems very risky. I mean, e6 is a weakness. Hans has a4, a5 to kind of cement the knight.
Okay, so yeah, e5. So I guess that's one way to defend it.
e5. I was going to say e5 is like the last move you want to play. Yeah, maybe we can go back to Hans. His position's kind of heating up here. So e5, he went knight e6, knight c6, bishop e3, and now knight d4. And wow, I mean, white to play in this position, he has an advantage in time, but it's really complicated. Like, he has so many options here.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do about that knight on d4, right? I mean, you got to do something about your knight on e6, obviously. I mean, that's the immediate threat.
Mm-hmm.
Do you just move the knight g5? But then obviously knight c2. Well, okay, never mind. I'm so used to the king being on d1 in these positions. Knight c2 is not there.
Yeah, keep thinking. Yeah, I mean, there's knight g5. You can also take on f8. It seems like the last thing he wants to do is take on d4 and kind of fix black's pawns there.
Yeah, that feels tragic, right?
Yeah. I'm a little bit surprised last move he played bishop e3. Like, he could have played c3, and just like totally, but he must have had a reason. Maybe knight a5 actually, kind of annoying move. I'm not sure. But bishop e3, knight d4. Yeah, he also has knight c7 check. And then maybe bring the knight to d5, though I don't quite see what that would accomplish.
So I'm cheating here. Yeah, it looks like c3. White would have had almost 2-point advantage, and so yeah, bishop e3 was. I agree. I mean, it seems like c3. I mean, again, it's easy for me to be the armchair commentator. But yeah, I mean, I think c3 would be the move that I would just instinctively play.
Oh, knight g5.
Okay, well,
so he keeps it, because this also makes sense. He's hitting f7. Bishop g4 check, quickly played by Duda. He of course was ready for Hans. Yeah, I think that's why he's thinking here. He does go king d2, but he's just making sure, like, with this, because also black has like maybe h6, some move, like, so that'd be funny to see h6, knight f7, and rook h7, bringing the other rook. But yeah, I guess Duda's not here to meme, so bishop h5, rook a1.
Rooks go on the 7th, right? But it's the wrong 7th.
Yeah. Kind of surprising, rook a1, so he doesn't go c3. He feels like he doesn't need this move. And I kept expecting white to go a4, a5, but he doesn't feel the need. Now it seems like, okay, rooks are connected, king is in the center, so why not try to play for some initiative? Let's go to Hans, because his position is extremely sharp here. His last move was king d1. Okay, I'm just gonna go back so we can kind of see how things happen. So f4 Hans played. We were talking about f3 earlier. He goes f4 and brings the knight to d6, takes on b7, takes on d4, rook c1, and now knight e4. And yeah, both players are on seconds here, so this is just
very
gonna be
complicated still.
yeah, this is just wild. Anything can happen here.
Yeah, so this move looks nice, right? Just
Leaving the bishop hanging
slowing
because he
down
has knight
those
c8
pawns.
check, and he can take. I mean, yeah, at this point, like the best thing Hans can do is just like trade pieces. As more pieces come off, Black's pawns will get weaker and weaker.
I guess that's the question, right? How do you orchestrate that?
Yeah, no, he still has to be like super careful here. Is you the last thing you want to do is just blunder like some mate or something with your king in the center of the board. But I feel like he's in control. He is not going to get mated here.
Yeah, I feel like this move is nice. Nice c4, knight c4. Maybe you can play bishop e5 and hit d4. I mean, black still has rook d8. If black plays bishop a7, keeping that d pawn alive. But even then, g7's hanging. So
Yeah. Yeah, I like this quick
it feels
move.
like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it feels like d4 is the target maybe, but I could be mistaken.
Yeah, like once white trades off this bishop or gets this bishop off the board, then yeah, that d pawn is a lot harder. Ooh, rook e5 check. Throws that in. Why not? Takes, and yeah, I don't see. I mean, unless black has an immediate tactic, I mean, the knight and king are very good blockaders, and it's going to be hard for yeah, like knight d6, stopping bishop f5 check.
Hmm.
Rook
Yeah, I
f2
mean, again, right?
is
I
covered
mean,
with knight e4.
like he's like, yeah, I mean, you're down a rook. Unless there's something happening soon, you're in big trouble.
Yeah. And now I think knight e4 check, king takes d4. That's what he wants. So king g6, he gets out of the check. So knight e4, maybe there's some bishop f5. But just
Right.
rook g1, pinning this guy. And yeah, I think this is going to be lights out very soon. He's starting h3. King h6, he has knight f7 check, forcing another trade.
Hmm.
I think it's game over. Yeah, knight f7.
Yeah. Yeah. I assume he'll resign this move. Yeah.
Very
No.
possible.
Okay.
Rook
One
f2.
more.
Duda, he's kind of a, I don't call him like a never resigner, but he plays on a little bit. Just to see, like, who knows? Maybe some white blunders. Maybe white
Yeah.
plays rook e4 and rook c4 in one move, and black gets rook d2 mate somehow.
That'd be me, and then I would just cry. I'm like, oh.
Okay, it looks like he's trying to vacuum all the pawns off the board, but of course Hans can keep at least one pawn here. Rook d6 takes on a6. Nice, e pawn's not going anywhere.
Yeah, this is. I'm pretty sure even I could wrap this up against most anybody. But
Yeah.
so well, good for Jans. All right, Hans. I'm so used to Jan Gustafsson.
Yeah.
Um,
And
yeah. So
Jan Nepomniachtchi.
all right, hey Hans, nice.
Ooh, first one for Hans. Very nice.
Yeah, and beating Duda, right? It's like that's a nice
That's
that's a nice
huge.
one.
I mean, that's like a world
Yeah,
championship candidate right there.
yeah, exactly.
Wow.